This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everyone. My name is Beatriz, and sorry, I'm muting everyone right now, just to have a clear recording. So my name is Beatriz. Welcome everyone to Latingar. If you need anything, I'll be the host. Alison will be the teacher here. And if you need anything in the chat, I speak Portuguese, English, and a bit of Spanish, so I can understand everyone. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone have a great week here at Latinar. We started yesterday with tutorials, and tomorrow we will start with sessions and with the keynotes and so on. I first want to remember everyone that we have a code of conduct in Latinar, and the aim of it is to have a safe environment for everyone. We want everyone to have a really great experience, and I will send the link of the code of conduct on the chat. And if you didn't take a look until now, please take a look. And everyone that participates had to bite to these rules. I remember you that I'm going to record. This session is being recorded and probably will be available by Saturday. Saturday afternoon, we'll probably post it on YouTube. So soon it will be available. And I want to introduce you to Alison. So I'm going to read your bio. So Alison Soares is a bachelor in social sciences, master and PhD in sociology at Federal University of Minas Gerais in Brazil. He's also Brazilian, with interest in sociological theory and epistemology. More recently, he is entering into computational social science and text analysis to research misinformation online. So thank you, Alison, to you to being available to give us this tutorial. And if I missed anything about your introduction, you are free to add. And I think that's it. Thank you, everyone. I'll be here in the chat. And Alison, the room is yours.
Thank you. Everybody just try to Bia, não estou conseguindo compartilhar a tela.
Let me see. Can you try it again? But I'm seeing your screen. I'm seeing your Zoom screen. Or it's not yours. Maybe, hang on, maybe it's other person, someone else. Let me see if someone else is sharing. Let me see.
I see.
Alison. Now I can. Yeah, I think someone else was sharing their screen. Yeah. Hang on. I will try to end the other person screen. Sorry, I didn't notice that was not your screen. How can I do it? Yeah, do you see Alison's screen? Yeah, I see Alison's screen. No. Can you try to share again, Alison?
Okay.
You're not able to share.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I change it so more than one person can share at the same time. But the weirdest thing is why.
And now?
Now I can see your screen, but I just want to make sure that no one else is sharing. If anyone doesn't see Allison's screen, please let us know. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Allison.
Can we begin? Hello, everyone. Yeah, told me I am Alison. I'm from social science. I started in R, not so many times, but it was during the pandemic of COVID in house, and I have some previous interest in computation. I know something, but I really dive into it during the pandemic. And so I'm not a really specialist, but I'm really excited about this area, what it can do, what it can learn, and yeah, I'm very excited about it. This tutorial will introduce some principles of text analysis using R. Some examples of text analysis in practice in social research, not so many, there is a lot of, but some that I found interesting. Some basic text analysis in graphical mode. I will not take so much time on it because I think it's not the purpose, but yeah, it's good to know there exist these tools, but it's not the focus. And finally, we will analyze writing code in R. Am I? Yeah, like Bia told you, this is my contacts, Twitter, GitHub, and email. The Twitter, you can find me more easily. And we have also these two groups in Telegram. We normally talk in Portuguese, but you can talk Spanish, everybody, or English, everybody can understand. Not everybody, but we can interact and share things and yeah, take a good time. Talking about R and RStudio or about digital humanities for those that have interest on these issues. Text analysis or text mining. This is the field have I think I can say that have these two names. We can, if you are searching for this issue in the internet, you can use both, or text analysis or text mining is the same. Text analysis. The history of text analysis precedes computation because today it's very close to artificial intelligence. But text analysis precedes computation because in 19th century you have some people doing text analysis with paper and cutting books and counting words, the work of Plato and the Bible, and doing manually. With computers, the things became more quickly, more cheaper, and more interesting, and more accessible. Some few examples, I will not take too much on it, but examples of text analysis just to have an idea of what we are talking about. One is plagiarism detection. There are some tools to find if some part of text are plagiarism. Other examples are linguistic fingerprints. This is also interesting. Find the authorship of some texts. There's some errors. One interesting example is the Federalist Papers, because it is one of my favorite examples, because it shows how social science and computational social science was together since the beginning. Because for social science, like me, my I my career was more theoretical, and this approach to computation is very recent. Yeah? And to see that this combination of social science and computation was old, it was very interesting to me. And the first papers was articles written in 85 texts written between in the 18th century by pseudonym. And in the United States, they was wanting to know who was the author of these papers, and this was an issue at that time. And they developed some tried to develop some tools to find out who wrote this paper. And one of the tries did not solve the problem, but gave us a great tool that was grep. One of the guys that was interested in who wrote this article told to a friend, and his friend in the next day or a few days, he came with a program called grep. It was to search, to easily find some piece of text in a huge text. Instead of you read out text, just grep is now part of the everyday life of the computational science. And it's also used to find the creator of Bitcoin. They analyze it, for example, they analyze the pattern of the text, both in Federalist Paper and in the creator of Bitcoin, and find there is a linguistic fingerprint in the sense that everybody has some fingerprint writing, even that we don't know, we have some style of writing that there is our fingerprint. And more recent example of text analysis is this article, Interactivity on Social Media Linked to Local Mating Ecology. This example, I'm not evaluating the scientific validity of this paper, but showing how we can use these tools of text analysis doing research. They analyzed a database of 4 billion tweets and look at the general location of. First of all, they took the tweeters. They created a dictionary of typical words used by incel, the involuntary celibatary group of people that they're radicalizing to the far right, and they want to know, well, how can we extract information from what we have online? And then they analyze the 4 billion tweets, and they create a dictionary. You can access the dictionary of typical words used by this group of people. And using the geolocation, they saw where was these typical words, and they make a map or a social map of the social conditions of the incel activity. For example, arrives within places where male competition among men is likely to be high because of male bias sex ratios, few single women, high income inequality, and small gender gaps in income. I'm not discussing the scientific validity, but the tools. I found it very interesting and shows an example of, this kind of research. Another example that I found very interesting, it's not very recent, can exposure to celebrities reduce prejudice? The effect of Mohammed Salah on Islamophobic behaviors and attitudes. Here, there's a preprint you can click. And, well, you know, there's the question, the problem of Islamophobia. And what is this? They analyzed 50 millions of tweets around the issue of football and Islamophobia. And they find out that because of Salah is a top elite player that does not hide his religion, and he's a visually a Muslim. Because there is another football player, there are Muslims, but Salah is more an icon of this. And because of Salah of this, and to be a high elite player.
A ver, no, tranquilo.
Oh, someone with microphone open? No, wait. I thought it was a question. and then they analyzed the truth and find out that there was a decrease in Islamophobia, a small decrease in general in England, but a greater decrease in Islamophobia speeches on Twitter before, after Salah. And it's called the Salah effect. Another good example is to extract variables from text. Another way to say this is text as data. You try to mine to extract another variables from text. And this is a package in R. This is in Portuguese, but I think there is one in English, gender. But I only know this, gender, Brazilian. What it does, it predicts the gender based on the name. There is a R package, you can run it, and there's some names, and it says if it's male or female, because sometimes you don't have this information available, and you can you need this information, it's not available, and you can make some workaround to find this information, and this one. This is interesting because the precision, once they made this package, the precision is of 95%, and another important thing in text analysis is in natural language process, is to validate. And when you make something and it looks like it's working well, try in another sample, in another database, and see if the results are similar. You need to validate because it's a common problem in text analysis. There is America from Greenberg. He's a great name in this area, and there is some key points on text analysis. There is mandatory. One of them is validate. Right? Always to validate. Another one is that the principle of text analysis is that text analysis does not substitute humans, but augment. And in augment in the good way and in the bad way. It augments in the sense of bias. If you have a small bias, you become greater. And not substitute the reading, the close reading, but it helps when you have a huge amount of text and you will not have time to read it, you will not have money and people, and technology will help with this. And this package, gender, PR, they validating another sample that comes from the candidates in Brazil. We have this data open. We can just pick this information about candidates in Brazilian elections. It's open, and they have a series of information like age, gender, including, and local birth, a lot of information, and they validated this information with this another. They validated this package, this method with this another database, and the result was very excited. It was 99.5% of correctness. Well, getting data. There are basically 3 steps. You have to collect the data, you have to analyze the data, and then the third step is to show the results. This is in principle. In practice, you make these 3 steps and come back in a loop. You find out this data is not so good, then you gather new data. I think that we can think of getting data in these principles. You can do it in many ways. One of them is to do it manually. Yeah, you can go in the page, copy and paste, or go in the page and save, or if you have PDFs or text, you are working with your historian and you have pictures of the text, and you have to use some kind of text recognition. And yeah, we can do it manually. It works, but it's a lot of time, a lot of effort. The second method is to use data sets from our practice. It is by far the easiest way. You just install the package, load the package, and there are some data sets you can use. And almost all, probably all of the great packages of text analysis, they have their own database that you can practice. There is a huge pro, but the cons is that, yeah, it's hard to it's not always what you want. There are some interesting information, but generally they have some few database available, and you want something different. Yeah, it's easier, but very limited. It's either if you are learning, it's a good thing, but it's not enough. Yeah, you have to do. You want to collect, to have your own data and do something more interesting. There is the third point. Import the reader data sets. That is one of the best solutions. You import the data in CSV or JSON, or maybe sometimes in RTA, the R format, and you have no source. You have many to work. Just collect the data set, and you can begin to have fun with your data. You can find it in GitHub, in Kaggle, and Base dos Dados just is for Portuguese speakers. There is a site that it's like a hub of data sets, and you search for data sets in Portuguese, and you download it in R format, in CSV, in JSON, in so many formats. The other method to get your data is to use APIs, and we have a huge amount of options. We have Tuber. There is a that use if you want to collect the data from YouTube and you use R, you can use Tuber. If you want to collect data from Twitter, you have a bunch of packaging R that works with the APIs, and you just load the package and run and begin to collect the data. Gutenberg is another. You collect data from the project Gutenberg. We will see later. And the last one is scraping. Is by far I think more tedious. I don't like this step so much, but we have to do sometimes. But because I'm not good with XPath and other questions, and you can do easily with R if you have some basic websites and you have some more complete. You can use R Selenium, but you have more work with it, because you have to go to the page, find the right code or HTML or CSS. You have more work, but the best option, you have to use APIs or to find read the data sets. Collected data are data sets. There is just some examples. I will not be exhaustive on it. For example, DS Labs have many data sets. One of them is Trump tweets. You can find that on internet as well, but they have the Trump tweets from a bunch of years, and you can, if you are learning, Twitter can be a good option to or maybe if you are researching, it can be a good thing to know it, to look at. Harry Potter. Sorry, the presentation have some it's not all translated. There are some points that are in Portuguese, but in the last version, I will translate it to English. But Harry Potter is just a package that you have the books of Harry Potter. If you want to use to make data, to make text analysis, there is a good way to go. Corpus, there includes data set of Federalist Papers that we talk about. Wordclouds, a package to do wordclouds. You have the transcripts of the State of the Union speeches. The contido corporal has data sets like the content of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in over 4,000 languages. This is the DS Labs if you want to use. First install and load the package and then you can load the Trump tweets just using this command. I have some issues with because I changed my computer recently and some packages don't work as I wanted. And this is one example. There's another example, but you can understand how it works. Maybe sometimes in next week it's working well. APIs. APIs is just to give a brief introduction. Is think about you have the information and you send, hey, I don't want the whole data set. I just want this and this information, just the gender and just these videos and this metadata of these videos. I don't want to download all the things, all the stuff. You send the request and hey, I just want this and this and this information, and you take it as in return this information. Some needs some kind of authentication password or token, some do not. In this tutorial, we will use only this that do not use password because it's easier, but we will talk about a little about these others that need some kind of authentication. This is just some examples of APIs. There is a lot more. We will show. If you want to collect YouTube data, there is this package called YouTuber, but you have to have a token from YouTube. You find if you find the internet this easily, and once you have this token, then you have this authentication in Google, and then you can send to API your demand and then get back that information. Like you can search for keywords or for a specific video or get the metadata. In principle, you can get the closed captions. Not always. Do not always work well, but you can do it. Twitter, you have some options. Twitter R, academic Twitter, TikTok R, LinkedIn, Caltangle, if you need to want to have. Caltangle is not for R, as long as I do not have. I don't know if there is something in R using Caltangle, but just know it's API to access information from Facebook and on other platforms from Meta. And there also APIs, I think that you can call APIs that do not need authentication, like Google Anagrams. I don't know if you know what Google Anagrams is, but you know Google Books. Now I saw there is some questions in chat. Yeah, Webscaping is not tedious, it's challenging. Yeah, sometimes it's hard. When it works, it's fun. Like everything in computation. Yeah. You can get the comments. You can get Larissa Curry is asking the data for YouTube is made up what? The video scripts or user comments. You can get the user comments. You can get the metadata like views, number of views, number of comments, a series of information. In principle, you can get the closed captions. But with Tube, I did not succeed well. I use another one, there's YouTube DL that works in Linux. I don't know if it works in Windows. I think so. But you can get a lot of information. You can do research for a certain theme, for I don't know, elections or Harry Potter, and you search by the API and get a data frame, a very beautiful data frame of all this information. Yeah, Google Anagrams. Via?
I just want to say something about Larissa's.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, no?
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to say something about Larissa's question. I remember that I explored it on SIX, SIX, the summer camp in computational social sciences. I participated last year, and we had an exercise that we used data from YouTube, and we could like access the API to get all the videos from a channel, get what you said, and also the description, the name of the video. And one thing that it was interesting was to repeat, because we're looking at fake news, so we could like repeat it after some time to see which videos were deleted, because we had a data frame from a date and from another date. And for people that studies that, that looked like they have like a real opportunity to study these, because there's a lot of information that you can gather from YouTube. It was really nice. Yeah, it was very interesting. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. This is because I love APIs. You get a lot of information, very beautiful in columns that you do not have so much work. Another one I want to talk about is Google Anagrams. You can do in the website, if you don't know what Google Anagrams is, well, you have Google Books. You can, there's a lot of books there. I can't remember exactly, but there is a great percent of the human knowledge is available in Google Books. And what Google did, they take these books and make some, how can I say, make it available to search for keywords. You can search for one word or two words, like New York or something like this, composer name. And you have information from decades for centuries. And it's very interesting because you can, it's used in technology and natural language processing, for example, to see changes in the meaning of some words, like Apple. You can, or window. There's some research that show how these words have some similar words have one meaning, and then with the advent of computation, the Apple began in the literature began to have a different meaning. Apple is not more only a fruit, and window is not only the window that you have in your house. And you have the opportunity to study changes, great change for me as sociologist. It's a very interesting because you have a lot of information in a huge amount of time and with a very low cost and no cost at all, to be honest. And you can find how, for example, an author became more prominent or increased, how certain themes became more prominent or they fall, something like this. Google Trends is another one that interested. We will come back to Google Anagrams in Google Trends and Gutenberg. Google Trends is another one very interesting to social research. Google Trends, if someone don't know, it catalogs the searches in Google, and you can find which themes are more, which words are more searched in Google. You can specify the amount of time. You can specify words. You can put words together and see how they are oscillating. In Google Anagrams and Google Trends, you can use the site, but you can also use our packages to gather data and use in a more beautiful way. you can use ggplot and have some more professional. Gutenberg R is just you can have the project Gutenberg is a project that you have free books, books that are available with no copyright. Normally, it's more classical books. You can go and download it, or you can use this package that we use. There's other ones that like Reddit. I never use, but here, if you have interest, Wikipedia has many. IMDb API gets movie and television data from IMDb database. If you are interested in movies and so on, you can use it. And SpeechPR is more for people interested in politics in Brazil that returns speech of Brazilian deputies. Not all APIs, yeah, there is a lot of more. You can click here. There is I have a book down. There is in Portuguese, but you can follow the code and some links, and you have a more extensive list of APIs. Or you can go to our open site. There's a list of our packages that work with APIs and scientific articles. Use them. Or you can go to Programmable Web. Has more than there's a lot of APIs there. Not everything works with R, but a huge amount. When I discovered this, I thought, wow, this was my reaction, and I hope that was also your reaction seeing this. Another option is doing web scraping with R. You can use RBS if your website simple is static. You can use someone told about add-on, webscaping.io. Another one is Selector Gadget. You can use in Chrome, and there is another one option in Firefox. That is, I think I have here is. But a similar name. If you, I think if you search in Firefox for Selector Gadget, it will return another another tool that is inspired by Selector Gadget that make it easy to find the information when you are scraping. I will not enter into web scraping because I'm not very good in this. I made something, but just to know that if you need, you take a look at RBS, Selenium, and this article of how we can use the bulk of R every day in our community. We think how we can do this, and have this another article about Selector Gadget, how it works. Yeah, and have Google Trends. And if you want to what is Google Trends and what it does, what it means, you have more technical information. You can click on this article for Simon Rogers, and you'll explain more extensively. But you can use in R. Google Trends. We can install this package using, I think, you can install packages in R using install packages. And in some slides, I put it install packages in to show how to install packages, but I did not put in all them because you take some space. And for the first, I put it, and just to know if you need to install packages in R, use this command. Install package gtrends R, and then you can have the data from Google Trends. Then once you have installed it, you can use library Google Trends, ggplot to plot beautiful graphs, and dplyr to wrangling, to make wrangling, to clean your data, to you can make, for example, you can do it in website but you can do also in R. You use this function Google Trends, and here we have a vector. Can you see my markation? When I put the mouse, can you hear? Or can you see? Sorry, can you see the when I with the mouse?
Yes, I don't know if you saw my camera. I was pointing
No,
up.
no.
Sorry. Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. Thank you. And you can get the information. You have a vector. In Google Trends, I think there is a limit of elements in the vector you are searching. You can specify the geolocation. You can search in the whole world, or you can specify the country and use these two letters like US, AR, BR, MX. Or if you want to be more specific, you can use the country like this and the state. In here we have the time, the initial time and the time. And what it returns is a list. And this list has this is only the names of the items of we get from when we run this command trends, and we get a list that have the things. We have the interest over time, how certain theme is oscillating over time, interest by country or interest by region if you are looking for more specific state or something more specific. Interest by I don't remember. Interest by city, related topics, and related queries. This is information you have in this website, but here you have more. You have the field data. You have more options to deal with it. Just know this query return this amount of lines. And if you take a look, only in the interest over time, we have more options. We have the data, the hits here, the keyword, there, here, the geolocation that we are searching for word, if commented here, but if you want to just strip out this panel, and the time your category. Yeah. But the interesting is date, hits, and keywords. This was another problem I have. Just a minute to go to RStudio. Oh, sorry. To show this graphic that are not showing here, we are in Google Trends. Here. And are you seeing my RStudio? No. And we have,
Yes.
and with this code, then you have this. We get the information. Percentage plot x as 8. Geom line is the geometry of line where you want line plot. And aesthetics, y is the hits. And the color is using the keywords. Different colors for different keywords. And another example of using Google Trends that are a little more sophisticated is by Gustavo Prado. I will not speak too much in this code, but it uses more or less the same thing, but in a more sophisticated, and you can see again in our studio. Sorry about that. During the pandemic, the searches in Google for searching for some entertainment words like cinema, you can see how Google Trends show some social trends, things that are happening. And you can use it to make social research. Yes. That code returns these graphs and how these things fall during the pandemic. Sorry, because when I was making my presentation, we have some bugs. I hope that we will correct when we publish them on Saturday. But for now, there's these bugs that now we will run vertically, not horizontally, but vertically. But the information is there. This is the important thing. You can get information from Wikipedia using this package, getWiki, which text data in a tidy format that can be used for natural language processing. Tidy data is a format that helps a lot when you are using you are dealing with the information. You can use the tidy package. It's much more easier. And then you can install this getWiki package using install package, as I said, and you can load the package, and you can, for example, search for certain things. This is Latin R, and I think that El Chavo del Ocho is maybe the one thing that unites all the Latin America, all the Latin America that I talk about. We all know El Chavo del Ocho. The program is very famous in Brazil. I think it's also famous in other countries in Latin America. You can search for this. Is some articles you return some articles that is available related to this search, and we can see how often a particular page has been viewed on Wikipedia. You can get the text of Wikipedia, but you can also have the metadata. This is more interesting, and you can, for example, you can look at how many times El Chavo del Ocho was viewed recently. This trend, I put it in this variable X, and trend week return, I put it on this another variable, and take a look, a glimpse of the trend, and returns the title, the date. Is a good way if you unite the databases you have. The title is not redundant to be here. There's information out of the the date and the views. And you can use this. Here I'm using base R to plot things, and just use a data frame, and then we have the Java Wiki data frame, and we have in the x-axis we have the date. Here, the date is not showing very well, but title, date, and views. Then the x-axis is the date here. Oh, sorry. This data frame, and then views on the y-axis. The type here is line. Color we will put blue, just to make a little more not so ugly. The name is the title. XLab is the x-axis, and YLab the views, and here is the sub if you want to put something showing that which word was used. And I did some. I found more interesting is we're having elections in Brazil. The first round and now the second round between Lula. Do we have some search wiki for Go search? I don't think I understand very well the question. You use the same keywords.
I think is can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think the question is like, you showed the search wiki function, right? I think the question is if we have something similar for Google searches, if we have a function in the Google search API.
Yeah, you will see it. Thank you. And here we are searching in Wikipedia for the name of the two candidates, and Trend Wiki, Lula, and Trend Wiki, Bolsonaro. Just to get a glimpse, quick overview of these data sets. It returns this, like default title, date and views, number of views here. And once we have these two data sets, presidential election 1 and 2, we do a rbind that will bind these two data sets because they have the same column names, title, date and date, views and views. And so we can bind this both in only one data frame using rbind. So I bind the first data frame, the second data frame. There's some error here. And just take a sample. It's not necessary just to look at this sample that we bind it. Use this function, sample n, and the number of lines that we want, just to have a look at this new data frame that we created, binding these two. And then we have this, just to take a look at, everything looks fine. It's what we expected. And once we have this GG, presidential election data frame, we can plot, ggplot, statics, the x is a date, geom line, the kind of graphic that we want. If you want bar plot, you use geom bar. In the aesthetics, if you don't know ggplot, I don't know if everybody knows, everybody in our love ggplot because you can use layers. You have the options to use layers and to put things, and you have a great way, a massive way to do the things as you want. And personally, when I'm searching for things, for packets, for example, to do maps, to do a lot of things, if it use the grammar of graphics of ggplot, it's a great deal because you can unite these things. They have a much more options. And the ggplot use layers. And here is the geom line layer, and the y-axis is the views, is the counting. The color will change according to the title. That here we want color for the Bolsonaro and another one for Lula. With only this, you have the graphic. Sorry. This is just, if you want to make it more beautiful, you can use this, like theme is another layer, just to put the legend in the top position, because I think this on side not work well. I prefer the top or in the bottom. It takes less space and give more space to the graphic. In the labs, everybody know about ggplot, or is it's good to explain ggplot, or I can go more faster? People? Okay, with the ggplot, do not need to take more time explaining. Okay. I will review more faster. The scale column arrow, blue, red, to personalize. V line to put, just to put a vertical line, because I want to make clear the election day. X intercept is where we want. In this case, because we are dealing with data, we need to use this, because if you only use this, it is interpreted as character, the string, and we need to use this as date and as numeric, and then the thing is to work. Line type solid, or you can use dotted, color that string, and annotate and put a label in this graphic. So we have this plot about searches in English Wikipedia, views in the Brazilian presidential candidates in the English Wikipedia in these last days, and we have here the election day, and we have this trend. Lula, you see that have more searches in Wikipedia in these days. The downside of this package is that it carries only articles in the English Wikipedia. This is the problem in natural language process and also in text analysis. A lot of things only works in English, like sentiment analysis, but the thing is changing. But we have other packages that works. I don't know really well which one. I think that this Wikipedia trend, you have the option to change the language and search in other Wikipedia and get metadata. Yeah. Google Anagrams. Someone's asked about Google Anagrams to add. Larissa Curry. Search for search wiki in Google search. Yes, you can do it with Google Anagram R. But I have this problem when doing this presentation, because I have some error message. And I think that the problem in the package, maybe in the near future, you solve it. This time is this error message, another time is another error message. Please contact the maintainer of this package. So we have, for now, we cannot use Anagram R, the package in R that take the information from Google Anagram. But in this lesson, we can use some workaround. One workaround is to use the Hakka database that comes with Anagram. And we can fit just a second, because can show it. Are you seeing a book now? A book or thank you.
Yes, and also your sideberry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're seeing it all.
Here. Sorry about the package is not working, but we can do something like this. You have Anagram R and Ngram, and this toward this two sociologists of things. Sorry. Year of start. You can specify the year. Yes. I have this in some place, but for now not finding. And using Anagram, you can have this. I think is interesting to see social trends. This is the example of the package, monarchy and democracy, and how monarchy have searching the Google books, and you can see how this trend, how democracy became much more prominent than monarchy in the literature, in the books. You can specify the corpus if you want to search in another language. For every language, you have different versions. Let's come back. There we show. Like this, you have the database for the English, the British English, or the English from USA. You can use French, German, Spanish, and there is a lot. There is, I think, 3 versions of each one. Some have more, some have less. In Portuguese, there is not available. There's no way to search in Portuguese in Anagram, but you can search in Spanish. This code just search for fun for Spanish. This for the search returns what we have. We can use in the search using the Anagram. If you install Anagram and it's not working and want to play a little, you can use the Anagram, the hacker data frame, the structure we have here, the phrase, the frequency, and you can plot hacker and programmer the frequency just to see what's going on. You can, if you run just Anagram copies, you get all the copies available, or you can go in this link of the Google Anagram and see what you can use in the Google Anagram as copies. Another one is Gutenberg R. You can install it, and it's another issue that was archived very recently, but you can install using DevTools. And reload using Gutenberg R, dplyr R. You can search for books. If you run this, you have a data frame with 40,000 more than 40,000 books, but only in English. This package only books in English. And here looking at the structure, and we have title, author, and you can filter, for example, for shorted. And you have this, and you can get also the text of the book. You can. This is a full shoot search. Here we are ignoring the case. You can find more easily. The downside is only books in English. You can, if you click here, you can see more examples of text mining using Gutenberg. And now for APIs. We not have time to deep into APIs, but these 2 tips are very, very, I think, interesting and very helpful. You can go into this online books, this book now, API for social science, and there is a lot of tutorials for using. These are a good way to start for searching in Instagram, YouTube, and others. You can find very interesting information there, or you go to our open site and package them with APIs. You can do some text analysis in R without coding. As I said, it's not our focus, but just to show you, you can use Boolean tools. If you do not know, there's a website that very wide to load, and we can put text here. Let's take some text here. There. You can put, you can upload your files. You can use, I think you can upload PDFs. And I think this is the easiest way to do some kind of text analysis. You can, here you have the wordclouds, you have the reflection of some terms, yes. And if you want to search for keywords in context, you have a text and want to see the context of that word, the words that came before and after that word, to take a good glimpse of the text to get the meaning. You can put here, have some tips, books, the critical books, and there's a lot of things here. I do not use it very much, but just to know that this tool exists. You have this tutorial, but maybe in Portuguese, but you can find in Spanish or in English. Using R. This was another problem that I have. I was planning to show how to use R command with this plugin, but I changed my computer and some issues using. I cannot use the R command. Cannot do the R command works, but you have this option to you use R but not coding necessarily. You use R command if you do not know R command. Sorry. Oh. This is a way to make some basic statistics without coding. You can frequency, and I think you can make correlations and regressions, but you can also use to do some text analysis. It's a bit for my previous computer, and it's running this another package using R command. And you can do some basic text analysis. If you not what you can also use the interesting that you can also, if you have a Twitter notification, a key you can use directly in the R commander and make things more easier. If you do not have enough time to code, or you don't have the skills to code, you can use this two R commander and Themis. What last actualization some years ago is not that more recent actualization. You can use ArcWord. ArcWord is not very new. It's older than the RStudio, but yeah, but it's like SPSS, but using R. You want to do some statistics analysis and like SPSS, but using R in the background, use ArcWord, and you can use this another package, corpus package. You can use the corpus package also without the ArcWord, but if you want to use it in the graphical way, you can do it. The most famous, I think, is Irmotech. It's all GUI, just click. And I have some problems installing this computer and cannot show you, but very famous. You can find a lot of stuff in the internet, and it also does not our goal here to doing the Google way. Doing text analysis tutorials in R writing code, you have much more options in analysis and visualization. First step, data cleaning or data wrangling. One of the first steps and more, this I think Bia will agree with me, is the tedious part, the cleaning the data. You have a bunch of noise in your data that you collected and you have to clean it. And as I said, the 80% of the time in analysis is doing cleaning the data through, and then 20% really analyzing the data. I can be because about the tedious of scraping, and I think that cleaning the data is, everybody agree that cleaning the data is tedious.
The part that we have to use regular expressions, I think is not the most tedious, is the part that I get more like, why is not working? Is the hardest part for me, because I have to do with the cheat sheets by my side and the manual in the other side, and still I have a hard time doing it, but eventually we make it work. Yeah, Jess said that she loves regex, and I have a friend that she loves doing that stuff, and I was like, "You're like,
I love
you
regex
have
too.
but
I agree.
you
I love regex. I don't love to clean the data because it takes a lot of time. Before I get into R, I use shell script, and I have to use a lot of regex and for all the stuff. And when I begin to use R, wow, this is so much simpler using the Arc package. And so, but the good good thing that I developed the regex, and I don't find it very hard or tedious. I found I found it great. And there's the joke. I think that everybody heard about regular expressions. That if you have a problem and you think, I can't solve it with regular expressions, then now you have two problems: the problem to solve and the how to use regular expressions. Because everybody, or other people need to have the cheat sheet to use it. Just take I will not take too much time in regular expressions, but if someone does not know what regular expression is, there are sequences that are used for search using parser or substitution using text parser. You can specify what you want, if it's a number, it's a letter, or punctuation, or if it's not a number, it's not a letter, or it's not a punctuation. How many of these? You have quantifiers, you will have 1, 2, or 3, or none, one or none, one or more, one is this, one or more if you use the symbol or symbol, and nor or some you use this symbol. Where the beginning of the line, the end, after, before specific chart. Just to have a look, I take this test for ggplot and make a user regex using gsub, and it takes every time that graph. If it's uppercase or lowercase, the first letter, and substitute for just a random example, not something serious, just to show how it works. Then it changes. You can see here the graphics. Oh, and here and here. With regex, you can change also the order of the text elements. Like this, you have a name, and I find this very exciting. Wow, it's fun. You can specify that that I want to change. Yeah, the presentation. I will have to make some. Not everything is working. Not everything is translated, and I will put in the GitHub. Richard, is something new for someone of you? Just to know if it's new for anyone. We can have cheat sheets here. You have some tips if you want to know more about cheat sheets. I will not take some time, but just to know that what regular expression is and what it does. You can use the patterns like this, the name, and you have this. You change the order, and so on. Tokenization. Now you're entering in the things that we use in text analysis. There is basically there's different differentiations we can talk about of approach in text analysis. One is the bag of words approach, and the other is the semantic. In the bag of words, you just want you put the text and use it as a bag of words. You do not care about the order. You do not care about the grammar, the grammar function if it's a verb. You just take the words and basically encounter. You can split one of the things that we make in the text analysis is, for example, we have a text and we split or we glue it. We split in vectors, and sometimes we glue these vectors elements in just one. And we have string split is a function from bodies R, and we have the text. There's this text that we use here for ggplot, this text. And we are splitting using regular expressions. And what this means is that here, any of these symbols, the comma or the point we have to use in our these two slashes to work. The escape, to choose the escape function. Then we have splitted this text in a vector. If you want to split into words, in this example, we split into sentence. We can split into words. This is the way. There's other ways to do it, but I'm showing the without using packages. But every package have their own methods to do it. The tidy text has his own way to do it, but we use the more simple way. You can split into words, but you can see it returns a list, and by this there's a list object, and we want, if you do not want a list, just a vector, just use the unlist function, and we have this not as a list. This sentence not as a list. Or if you want to do opposite, to join vectors element into only one piece, you can use paste and collapse equals and a space here, like this, just taking, for example, the two elements of this vector, and we paste it together, and we have this. Because sometimes we break into settings, and then we use another variable. We want to, for example, a person that talks a lot of things, and they want to glue the thing, and then split another way. Single R package is, you can do most of the things with GSub and graph and a lot of something great, but single R makes the things more simple. Not every time. Sometimes I try it in single R way, but I don't know, let's try the graph and the graph function out of the box. But in many things you can do easier with string R. It's a package to manipulate strings. And this example on Don Ramon is very known in Brazil. I don't know if in other Latin America. No hay trabajo malo, lo malo es tener que trabajar. Just an example. And you can use string to upper and take this and all in the uppercase, string to lower. This is one that we use a lot. That passes everything to lowercase. And sometimes we need to, if you want, just the first letter as capital, and then we use string to title. Every function in string R use this pattern, str, and this symbol n. You can use string R to count things like how many times this pattern happens, and it happens 2 times. If you have more a vector here, it will show more things. You can use string R to replace things, like where it's malo, it becomes bueno. But look at this, that this replaces only malo, only the first. If you want to replace all, you have to use string replace all. If you want to just remove some words or some patterns, you can use string remove all. You can see that all the malo disappear, lo de trabajo, lo de trabajar. And another function that I find very helpful in string R is string subset. It works like a filter, like a graph, but it can use in the pipe. So we have this vector, and we are stripping out this empty vector, and we have A and B. We have here a cheat sheet for string R, and this book down about fundamentals of data wrangling in R. Typical steps in text analysis. In the backwards approach, we have the tokenization that we saw here. There is the break into parts. We have a text and we break into or in sentence or in terms, like 2 words like New York instead of New York. In different terms, we can search for two words or 3 words, sequences of 2 or 3 words that we call anagrams. A bigram is 2 words, trigram is 2 words, it's 3 words, sorry. And we can break into, we tokenize into settings, into terms, into words, or into characters. It's not useful, but very common in text analysis, but more common words or in terms and settings. I think words and terms are more frequent. We move to the stopwords and punctuation in most of the time, but in some cases, for example, in the case of the Federalist Papers, they use they call this function words to see the style of writing, to ask who wrote the article. But most of the time, we are removing stopwords. We'll see what it is if you don't know what it is. We can do some stemming or lemmatization that we'll see. And we can make some substitutions like synonyms or abbreviations, because if you are counting the frequency and you have double case, double writing, and if you want to make these 2 things one thing, and you can use substitution. One way to tokenize is that we saw that we use in string split. Another way is to use the Anagram package. It's not the Anagram R. This is the only Anagram package. It's different. The Anagram R is to use in the Google Anagrams. This is to deal with Anagrams. This is an example of bigram. using the function and that text or Ramon, and I want to have diagrams, and we do it using this function. Because if you don't run this function, get anagrams, you will have just indication anagram operated with and only the metadata. If you want to know to see the information, you use also in this package use this function, get anagrams, and this shows the diagram. As you see, it takes the phrase no I is one diagram, I trabajo, another diagram, no, I trabajo malo, another diagram, and so on. It's not in the order that we saw, but it's useful to find meaningful stuff in a bunch of texts. Single words works great, but if you use bigrams or trigrams, you have something more meaningful, more useful. Here, an example using a text of Project Gutenberg, but that package do not load Spanish text. Then we use this. I was in the website Gutenberg, search for Don Quixote and Don Quixote. How to speak? I don't know. In Portuguese, we say Don Quixote. And I saw look at the txt file and URL and realize it will load in the R, and this structure is just a vector with a lot of lines, and we can split here. We are splitting using everything that is not letter or number, then we will cut, and then we will have the tokens by words. We unlist because we do not want a list. We're saving this object and use this function. Count, there is two main counts functions that I personally use. One is player count, and the other is dplyr count. Player count, if you have a vector, you use player count. But if you have a data frame, you can use the dplyr, the count from dplyr. Works similar, but not the same. But do the same thing. In the case of player count, it gives us the frequency like this, the x and frequency column. I wanted to arrange, to put in the order. If you are with a dplyr count, you can use a parameter like sort equals true. But we are dealing with vectors and use the player count, and then we have to arrange in the order that we want. And frequency is the column, and the minus sign shows that I want to in different order. And then just to have a glimpse, because we don't have to look at all of this, and we have this. But as we can see, there's a lot of stuff that is not very informative. Articles are not very informative, and we want to strip out this. This is what we call stopwords. There are words that are very frequent, and if you are looking for, not only in the frequency, but in other other things that we use in natural language processes, we strip out stopwords to reduce the size of the corpus that are really dealing. And one way to do it, there are several ways to have your support list is you make your vector. Another one that I like is to write this, and you don't need, you have to put the the quotation marks, comma, quotation marks. You just put things in separate with spaces, and then use a string split with spaces, and then alias, and then you have a support more easier than doing writing in this. And then we have the stopword list, and one way to sweep out these stopwords, well, keyhole tokens is a vector element. Then we can sweep out using using this code, and we are using this vector stopword, and this sign are showing that we want the negate, and then it stripped out the stopword, and then now we run again fire count or range frequency ahead. It was better, but it stripped out some of these stopwords that we do it manually. But there is a lot of packages or stopword lists already available, and you do not need to make your own from zero. But sometimes it's good to do it. But you can use, for example, this package called stopwords, and use this function stopwords for stopwords, and you specify the language. In this case, it's Spanish, and you have a list of stopwords. And if you want to add them more, as we save here in this object, and then we create another vector and put this vector, and we add more things here in the list. Sometimes this is not enough, and you want to strip out more words, and then you can use this. Stemming. As long as we are counting words, sometimes there is deflection of words, like walking, and we do not want, we want that this consists only one. We have put these options in, you say in supports, yes, yeah. Just, I think, PT or PT BR, I don't remember, but I think it's PT only. Can we check what content to be supports? You say in Portuguese. Okay. You won't see the whole. Okay. Okay. Also. Yeah. Here's Spanish. Oh, sorry. Your vector, and you are in Portuguese. Yes, you have. No, I think it's not available. Sometimes you have the option. No. But in English, you have also. And sometimes not you can add it for new words to this list, to this, sorry, this vector. There is other ways to do it. I'm showing in this way, but you can use a tidy way. There is the tidy text package, the container package, the TM package, and they have different approach, different pipelines of working, and different approach, and they have their own stopword list sometimes. But in again, in languages that is not English, it's not so easy. It's not, the the pattern. Then this package stopwords you can use easily for other languages, other than English. And sometimes when you have flexions like walking, walked, and you just want to consider this as just one thing. Walked, walking, just one walk. You can use stemming and lemmatization. Stemming is more quicker, it do not use a lot of amount of computational resources. And you can use, for example, using Snowball C library, and using this function, getting language, you have the language available. You have Portuguese, you have Spanish, you have English. Yeah, I think that was string language of the in this tutorial. And we can use this. We're splitting the Halo, não é trabalho com Malo, and at least string subset. Okay, and then we have here a vector, and we are using Snowball C to return the stemming of that word. No hay trabajo, mal. And as you can see, it's not the root. But if you want to strip out this variation of words, you use stemming and you will have a quick look at this. At the end, if you are using the frequency, after using the stemming, you can use string substitute, and then have like substitute for example, trabajo for trabajo, and get a more meaningful thing. And you have stemming that is quicker, and you have also lemmatization. There's not so easy to find, but you can find. You have a lot of options in English. In one that I know that works is using UDPipe. The other I don't remember if I tried, but UDPipe I'm sure that they have for several languages and have a lot of options beyond the lemmatization. You have some kind of named entity recognition. In Spanish, in Portuguese, we have a lot of models that you can use. We will see. We will use UDPipe. And this is an example of what lemmatization is. We're using this function, this package, textstem and lemmatize strings, and walking, walked, and walk, and it returns the root, walk, walk, walk. And then if you are looking for the frequency, and you get a more meaningful thing. You did not have some words that varying, and you not just one. Substitutions. Because sometimes you have abbreviations used, you have synonyms, and you see, oh, this word is very similar. If you put this together and count this, you have something more meaningful. There's one way to do it. It's not the only way, but you can do it using this. This is a way that I like to do. I make a data frame here and separate the art, and it will be substituted by artigo, in this case, cell by coronel, gr by doctor, and I'm using these 2 points, 2 dots as separation. You can use space, you can use any chart that you want. Header tubical is the header, abbreviation, and the substitution. And here we have text. Then I mount this, and then I have we have to deframe it, that is, convert this data frame to name vector to work well with single replace all. Once we have this data frame, sorry, if the data frame, then we convert it to a named vector. And once we have this named vector, we can go back into our text and substitute all the times that this doctor appears, it will substitute for doctor, and so on. Cell or coronel, using X is the name of the column, single R, to replace all. In this case, you have to use single replace all, and not the replace only, replace all, and this sub this, and we'll iterate over this and substitute the abbreviations, or you put everything you want here. If you want synonyms or something, yeah, I want this to be substituted by this, and boom. Word clouds. Then we have more a visual thing. Word clouds do not have a good reputation in text analysis, but it's like the pie chart. It is the joke. If interested in this area, this is it shows something, but it's like yeah, it's very yeah, I love it. If you know how to use it, it can be very informative because the frequency of words, the number is not so important, but the relative importance, which is more frequent than another. If it's 50 or 50, it's not important. And the protocol show this. We have some variations of word clouds that become more informative. If you are comparing, for example, sentiments, we have a word cloud for positive and negative sentiments. Or if you are comparing, for example, words of presidents, for example, speech, frequent words, for example, for Trump and Obama. The consider package has this example, and you show is informative. Yeah? But just to know, but it's good to know that you but be careful with word cloud, something like the pie chart. But sometimes you will be demanded to do it. I use it a lot. I use it a lot just to get to know the joke. Take a description of Don Ramon. Just a random site and website that just take this text just to have one sample to work with, and you can make easy word cloud with word cloud packages that have the function word cloud from word cloud, and taking this text is not tokenized, as you can see. You can just run it, and you have boom, you have word cloud. You can specify more things, like I have this Roman tool. I want this specify the scale, shrink or expand. I want specify the colors, royal blue, and dark blue according to frequency. Then I use this. The message that the warning that is not removed. Don't worry about this. Not something that you must worry about. And we have this without. Or using the Quixote data frame that we downloaded, we tokenized previously, as you remember, and we have X and the words and the frequencies. And for this, specify here the number of maximum of words we could see. It is in the decrease order of more frequency for the last frequency. If you run this without filtering the more frequency, it will take a long time. And in a lot of time, I forget to do it, and oops, I click on this and have to wait. And sometimes stop. You quick stop on the article and it not work. So it's good to filter the more frequent. You could filter previously. I filtered in this way. There's other way to do it, but you can use this and the 1 until the 40 more frequent words, and the same for the frequency, the data frame and the column. Here's the column, and the colors is and the wordcloud that not appear here. I think that is for one reason it's not showing here. Oh, just not here. And using these parameters, we'll have this wordcloud. I did not, in this, I forgot to strip out the stopwords, but yeah, you can put it in the pipeline, and then we have a more, a better wordcloud. There is another option for wordcloud. It's a wordcloud tool. It gives more beautiful wordclouds, but I did not put here. You can use the wordcloud package, the wordcloud tool. You have, well, I think, more interesting wordclouds. And you have the option of using GG wordcloud. They use the grammar of graphics of ggplot that give you more options. And Beatriz?
When I tested both the ones from GG wordcloud 2, the package wordcloud 2, were better if you're creating something interactive, like because people can pass the mouse and like in a word and appears in the top, like the number of times that word appeared. But if you want to like print in a paper or something, it doesn't make sense to use it because you don't have the interactivity. So it's best if you just use one of the options you showed. Because to transform this interactive version, which is a HTML, a web page, into an image, it's harder. So it's just better to use this. So I think it depends in the aim. If you want to do something pretty in a web page that wants people to interact with it, go with it version 2. If don't, version 1, and it works well.
Yeah. And the version 2 also have, I think, gives more beautiful word clouds. It gives, I think if you just look at, we can, word cloud 2. we will use very quickly in the we have 1 hour. Beer? Oh, oops. That's
Yeah,
one.
sorry.
So,
yes, but if you want to make a break, so you can
this website, you can, if you don't know, this is a very, very, very interesting. You see the ways to build graphics. This is wordcloud 2. I think that's more beautiful than wordcloud 1. I can use shapes like this. So, okay. With your wordcloud, you can use the grammar of graphics and using all the power of ggplot, label size, and use this geom text wordcloud area, and you specify the shape. You can use circle, diamond, square. There is another. If you go to the page or you go to the documentation, you'll see there are more options. Scale size is the maximum size of the words, I think. straight color, specify the word that we want, the lower, the height, and here the beautiful thing about ggplot, you specify the labs that we want, or called ggplot, and subtitle and the caption here. And back, I think the ggplot, gg word cloud is a more beautiful word cloud. And you can use word cloud to consider as also consider to have a different pipeline. You have to transform in the corpus object, and there is a pipe of things that you have to do, and you can have more instructive word clouds, like more beautiful word clouds. This I think is more beautiful. And you can this I think is more beautiful, but the thing is to see the word and the word that disappears, but it's beautiful. And you can do things like this. It's a little polluted. It's not easy to see, but Trump words and Obama words, and you can see, compare these things. It's an analysis. There's different ways to do sentiment analysis, and sentiment analysis is one of the things that language other than English is not very well, do not have the tools. There are a lot of things in English. The package, if you use, I think maybe, I will not say all, but all that I know, that I can remember, all use English dictionaries. I will show you how to build your own dictionary and use it. You can also find in the internet, there is some person in GitHub that create their own dictionary. But a lot of people love sentiment analysis, but we have to be very careful using sentiment analysis, because there's some articles showing that we can use a dictionary out of the box and have much less effort. Just take the dictionary and use it. But there is some articles showing that if you use different dictionaries, you have very different results. And if you are doing research, and this became a problem, because words used in one context, it's hard to use in another context. If you build a dictionary of sentiments in let's say in Twitter, and you will use in a text of financial text or financial text in sport text, it will not work. It's a different context. Some words have different meanings. The same words have different meanings in different contexts. One way to do the sentiment analysis is to use a dictionary of sentiments. There is more sophisticated ways using embeddings, using the transformers, that you have something more accurate. Some of them you can find in R, but here I will show you the basic that you create the dictionary, your own dictionary, and use it. Knowing how to build your own, you can take from another person and use it, and take some words, put some words, strip some words from this dictionary, and make your own dictionary based on the others. Sorry, this is in Portuguese, but I think that you can understand the logic behind it. Here we have a vector of phrase. Coffee is good. Coca-Cola, I don't know how to spell it in English, but it's
it's a really green salad. I don't know the name. It's a really green, dark green salad, but I don't actually know the name in English. But a lot of people doesn't like it because it's a bitter taste.
Yeah, I love coffee and I hate rucola. This is because I put it. But a lot of people, but it is controversial. All the people, no, it's best. One of the best salads available. But so we have coffee is good, rucola is bad, it's less or good. Arugula, something like this. Oh, thank you, Carolina. uh, how to spell efficient in English? Something is really bad, and to work is something bad. And you can create our own dictionary using this function from the package statement analysis. And these are words that represent good things. Soda, thank you, thank you. These are the vectors that we will see what our dictionary will say. But soda is bad for your health. No, just bad, but it's bad for your health anyway. And we are creating a dictionary binary. This one type of dictionary they use in system analysis. It's not the only one. We do another one. And we have the good words and the bad words. Is a vector, comma, and the other vector. And we created this dictionary in Portuguese, and we use analysis sentiments function, and we have documents that this. What it is, the language is Portuguese. The rules list, and here we have dict. And then we analyze the sentiments, and we have a punctuation for the first, second, and element. The other way to, oh, sorry. If you want to see this punctuation side by side, data frame, you can use this. This code data frame for sentiment, convert to direction. You will use this null sentiment. Is the name that he uses here. The name of the column. Oops. And then we have a data frame. Yeah, we can shift or in, if you have Telegram, we can talk, or in Twitter, we can. It'll be a pleasure. Not so hard. You can use weighted dictionary. There's different. Here we have just only positive and negative, and here we can specify the weight of the words. So we have these vectors of words. I think it's the same, but it doesn't matter. We have these vectors of words. And we have this another vector with this decimal is -10, wins bad. -5, good. +5, and so on. So we have with this function we have this dictionary, weighted dictionary. Oh, thank you, Bia. And the also the, I don't know if we have Telegram, but I'm sorry. here. One is more focused in R, another one is more focused in text analysis. Yeah. Oh. And then we have a weighted dictionary that we can see the fonts, the weight, decimal, -10, and so on. Top, 10. Okay, and now this is another. I don't know if it's really helpful, but I saw some analysis of the origin of species of Charles Darwin. He was comparing the versions and seeing what was new in different versions. I think it was 6 versions of I don't know if there's some from biology here, but I think there was 6 versions of origin of species, and they compared the versions and use a graph to show showing different colors for different parts. Here, this GG page shows something like this. We are using a table that comes with the package, with the GG page, gplyr, because it cannot live without gplyr, and ggplot we cannot live without ggplot too. And we have this table that comes with GG page that have a text in the book. The package of the Harry Potter is similar like this, book and the text, and you can do text analysis with this. And you have the tinderbox, you have this, and the structure is this, you have text and book, and this amount of lines. In the function, gpage quick creates a quick visualization of the page, and we have this text where the question is not to see, you cannot see the words because it's what we want. We do not need to see the words. We want to have this panorama, a view more overview of the text. And the function gpage build creates a table for the list that gives us more options to deal with data field. We can use directly with this, but we can use in gpage build. We can use gplyr and stuff like this and have more options. In the box is the data frame, sorry, a list object. Gpage build turns into a table. We mutate this to create a column called words that will extract, it will, here this to our package, and you look at the text and extract only that word. I think you can use a vector of words here, and using ggplot you can use layers for different colors. Here I use just one word. Use the word soldier, and here it shows where the word appeared. There is the Quantita package, another package called lexicon dispersion. It shows the same thing, but in another graphical way, just a bar with strips and the whole text, and it shows where the specific words appear. Yes. If you go to quantida.io, you can have this, for example, lexical dispersion of specific words of different presidents of the United States. You can see that some words appear more frequently in Democrats or in Republicans. You can put colors in this. This is not colors, but this is colors. The same idea. How specific words of group of words you can use dplyr to make it. And consider they have a different approach. You can make it more easier. You can see the dispersion of some words. And here's the example that comes with Gpage. We use the criteria is word with length greater than 8. Here I translate into Portuguese, but if you go to start in English, just to see the more long words. The semantic parsing. I told that we have different approaches in text analysis. One is the bag of words that we tokenize the words and take only the frequencies of words of bigrams, onigrams, or single words of bigrams or trigrams. Or you have a different approach that is the semantic parsing, that the order matters. If some word is a verb or is a noun or is an article, it matters. And what it does, it classifies. You have the text. It classifies. It does the grammar classification. This is a noun. This is an article. This is a pronoun. And you have, in the case of this package, you have a data frame with this, and you can have a lot of fun with this. The pipe, you have several models. Here, for Portuguese, I think there are 3 models. The good for the fact you have a lot of language that is not English. If you are using in English, you have other options like spaceR. You can use it to classify. But the easiest way, you can use all spaceR to classify in other language other than English. But use the pipe, I think it's more direct because it not requires Python. Because spaceR requires Python, you need to have to reticulate, and sometimes you need to have something more than this, and these things do not work. But use the pipe, just install it, just install the package, it works out of the box. You do not have something to worry about, to use reticulate. And once you install the pipe, you can call it, use the library, and call dplyr. But you have to install or download the model and the model of the language. In the site, I think I put in somewhere the language here. If you click here, you will see a little. You can see here the available language that you can use in the pipe to classify the grammar. And here says if it lemmatizes or if it gives the grammar. You have a menu. You have so many options here. Portuguese, I think we have 3 options, and we had a lot of options. In German, Polish, yes, Portuguese. Oh, there's more. Portuguese, Spanish. We also have a lot of Spanish. A lot of Spanish options. First we have to download the model, and you specify the language here, and you put here the name. Just be careful because the name here is all in lowercase. Here is the first letters are capitalized, then you have to put all in lowercase work. Then you download the mode, can save in an object. Once you download, you can use, you just download one time, and here is the path for my with the pipe file. Here I'm using Spanish, and here we have the structure. Okay, no. Here we will annotate our text. Here are the key tokens. We have a lot of things here, and I think that's a good. I just restrict here just to show you. In the analysis, in reality, we will not restrict. The first time you will restrict just to make sure that things are working well, or you can split your database in several in many let's say split your data frame in, and use it because it takes a little while to run. So I'm taking my short tokens, just restricting for first day, and we are adding annotating in the data frame, and here we have the data frame. Here we cannot see it so well. Let's go back to RStudio. Oops. Here we can see better. Much better. Here, just count this column says what is the noun, this the verb, the adjective. In the website, they have the description of what it means. But normally, I just use verb, noun, sometimes adjectives, but it's not so common. But normally, noun and verbs. And here, just counted just to see how many of them are in this text. There are some text analysis that count and compare text of the use of, for example, in misinformation, they are more use of pronouns. Then you can use this. Just to take a look at what it returns. No, let's see. Let's wait. Oops. Yeah. We have a doc ID, paragraph, the sentence that we are considering, the token, the lemma, the lemmatization, and here we have the grammar class of this. It has, I think, some more things. It says the gender. There's a lot of stuff here. And when we can just count the nouns. You can count the verbs and compare For example, chapters in the book, and you have something meaningful, or you compare partitions, you have some meaningful. And you can also, with this, you have this data frame. You can words that points to another words, and you can call the co-occurrence of words when a word co-occur with another, and then you can plot a graph of it. Here, with this function co-occurrence, we are counting, but just the nouns, the verbs, and adjectives. We are subsetting the data frame to only catch this. And what we want, the lemma, and grouping by this. Here we have igraphs. Someone asked about what Jeffrey, I don't know, someone. Okay. But here we have igraph. We are here. We are restricting for just the more frequent, because if you put it will take a while and you will not see everything. That's restrict before. And here we can plot this map, this graph, sorry, of the co-occurrence of words. And this, we have to restrict this for not take so long. But when we are comparing different, for example, I was using my Twitter. I use it to compare the programs, the programs of different the program of the Brazilian presidential candidates. And using this, you can see patterns very interesting. And the idea that using technology is something like this, that you do not need to read all the things to get a glimpse, a general idea of what's going on. Of course, if you read, you get a better idea, but the amount of text and information nowadays is huge, and it's not always easy to read all things. And if you want just what they're talking about, this, and then if you want to go deeper, and then you go and read it. But you can change the color, you can change the size of the I forgot the name of the links here, of the nodes. There are different themes you can change. You can change the color of the words. Yeah. I try to put LDA, machine learning, or sorry, the stock modeling, sorry. But I have problems with the slides, but you can check. I can put some links if you are interested to doing topic modeling. Just to check out if you not know, this diagram that I'm writing is not available yet, but no, it only has TF-IDF. TF-IDF is also, there is a chapter in my book down about it. It's very helpful if you have a bunch of text and you want to compare and to find out the how to say, the words, their characteristics, they are more frequent in one text than in others. Now, the TF-IDF, what it does, it you have several texts, many texts, and you want to compare them, and you want to find out the words that are more characteristics. The more characteristic words of the text one is this. The words that are more characteristic of the text two is this. So, like this. We have different politicians, and I just take the speeches and compare them, and I run a DTF IDF, and I get the characteristic words of each one. Words that are common to all the TF-IDF strip out. The TF-IDF gives like a punctuation, and words that are more frequent in all the text, it gets a lower punctuation. And words that are frequent in just few documents that you are comparing, it takes a greater punctuation. And then once you have this, you plot, you filter the more common, and you plot the graphs. Then you have something like this that that shows the typical words of this text. You can use, for example, if you are one example in the manual of from the Silger is, or Silger, I don't know how to pronounce, is to compare the chapters of a book. And using this, you can have a good overview of what is typical in each chapter. And using TF-IDF, you can use it. One example, just to take a look here. And if you go to example of analysis, here we have some of the things that we use here. Can see it again. Some wordclouds. Here we have idea talk. We can use dictionary is another interesting because sequence analysis using with a dictionary is basically the same thing that we are using here. We can use dictionary to, instead of just positive and negative, we can use the same tool to catch some ideas, some concepts. Some concepts like thinking each concept like a bunch of words. And this concept as a bunch of words, we using this tool from Quantida, we can have different concepts and see how this concept, there is a bunch of words oscillating over time. Or compare different people like this. They are things like corruption, and you have some words that represent corruption. I'm using here a pattern. It's not the word corruption and corrupt. You take out it. Reject here. And using the dictionary, you can do a system analysis. You can also use to see how concepts change between people, change between time, the frequency between in the time. Topic modeling. Just to show an example. In machine learning, you have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and you have something between that is semi-supervised learning. This is the top modeling. You can check out. I think that the package is top model. Yeah, top model. There's other packages that do this thing. I use here this. called top model. You have some steps to follow. And copy to reshape, it will reshape the paragraph. It will transform to a document frame into a matrix. I think this will strip out the less common. Here we convert to top models. Set seed is a code that we use because many of the functions that we use, if we want use one time, it gives something, and the second time we give another. And to have reproducibility, you use the set seed function and put a number, and to any other person that use it will have the same result. The key result is the number of topics. Top models is a non-supervised machine learning technique, and you do not specify what in each topic in the like in dictionary or like this that I show you. That we specify. I want to this category. I want this words. In the top models, you do not specify the words. You let the computer, the algorithm say what goes where. But you have to specify the number of topics. It's not shown. There's some ways to calculate this. The number, what is the ideal number of topics. But here we just using a number. But some people try different numbers and then compare. When things, when words stop to become frequent in many topics, and we begin to have more characteristic words appear in one and another, then we have a good number of K. Here we are presenting the model. We are applying method gives, and here we have the model to see what we get. And it took a while. If you have a great test, it will take, and you have not enough RAM memory. Even if you have a huge amount of RAM memory, it will take a while to run. And so maybe it's a good way to sort some, to catch a sample and run and try things, and then you run the real stuff, the LDA, like in business models. There's top model technique. There's other top model techniques. This one is the most famous and I think more used. And we have only the 5 more frequent here. Here's ahead. And with this code, then we can look at we have a graphic representation of the top model. Come back to the presentation here. For the steps, I think it's a quick overview of the thing that we use in text analysis. Different packages have different approaches. For example, consider you have transforming in matrix, and then we can do analysis. The tidy text is another approach, and for tokenize, and so on. But the main package is this consider, tidy text, TM package, and so on. Further steps. if you want to go deeper, yeah, there's the book down that I wrote, but it's in Portuguese, not everybody here will understand, but they can follow the code, and some words in Portuguese and Spanish are very similar. But I just take two books, all the both are available free online. One of them is Julia Silva. Julia Silva is one of the, how to say, the main person. It's good if you not know her, follow her. Because you think text analysis, you will think in Julia, and she has this book, Text Mining with R. You can buy the physical, buy the price is very right, but it's an option. You can go to Amazon and buy, but you can also access free this link. And the other, this is more practical. This book, Text Mining with R, focusing in R. There's a lot of options of books, but this another one I think is also one of the best. It's more focused on the theory of the natural language process, and you actually also have some. Yeah, you also have a channel you on YouTube. You also have a channel on YouTube, and you can check out. There's very detailed most here discussion in language process. What is embedding? Sentiment analysis is very good and complete book. And this finish. And I thank you so much. I hope that was not so boring. No talk too quick or too slow. I hope that all can understand my English. There. I hope. And you can find me on Twitter and Telegram and so on.
Thank you, Alison. Can you copy this information? No, you can hear me? No.
No. Yes.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your presentation. And could you copy this information of your Twitter, GitHub, and email in the chat? Copy and paste it. In my opinion, as Larissa said, there's a lot to catch on because there are some packages that I didn't even knew about it. So, but I just use tidy text as something that is not my research topic. So I explore because I think it's interesting. So
Yeah.
I think like other people, there's a lot of stuff that it's really new to me, and you brought a lot of content for us to study afterwards. So thank you. So if anyone has any question, you can ask in the chat. Oh, Julieta asked you something.
It's not easy to find dictionaries, sentiment analysis in other languages than English. As I showed you can build your own, but you can also find in GitHub. In Portuguese, was the only language that I use it in English, just following the tutorials. But to use it in Portuguese, I use a package called Lexicon PT in Portuguese. And so that there is, I think there is three options. My memory is good. And well, we can use, but the question is, sentiment analysis is, you must be careful because dictionary of the box, you can be sure that the dictionary is good to use in the context of the text you are using. So because of this, some people are using another approach, like embeddings, there are packaged in R, or transformers. But you can, but we can also, but you can do it if you are get a close read and see, oh, this this word really means something bad, and this do not mean something good. If you take a look at this, I think you can have a good use of dictionary, but you can create your own dictionary for your use, for your text. You looking for the more frequent words. This is bad, and you create your own dictionary, or you can search on the internet and to find if there is on GitHub, for example, if someone created and is available in your language. But in Portuguese, I just use this. But I'm now I'm trying to not to use embeddings in the other options to analysis.
I send the link of a blog post made by Silas Gonzaga, which is the person who created the Lexicon PT, which is the version for Portuguese, right? The one that you said. But I don't know. I also don't know any option for Spanish.
Yeah.
But this blog post uses the version for Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. Anyone else has a question?
No questions. All the things was new. Everybody new.
Sorry? I think my microphone, just my headphone.
Just the same thing. If someone have some questions, if
Ah,
the thing was new, or I hope everybody enjoying it.
yeah.
The presentation was not really. I have some problems with the package, some packages. Sorry about this. But I hope that people that are interested in this issues make
Yeah.
contact and can chat.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, not only in the open chat, but in the direct chat about the slides. And I told them that the slides will be available eventually soon when we add the video online, so everyone can explore your notes as well. So I think no one else has questions. Thank you so much, Alison, for your presentation. I hope that you enjoyed participating in LatinR, and I hope to see you in other sessions in LatinR as well. Thank you. And I think I will stop recording now. Do you want to say anything else before I stop the recording?
Just to say thank you for everybody for watching our. It's a great opportunity to meet people with a common interest and to see people, new people interested in this stuff, to make a network. We can grow together. I think that's the main thing in this community of open language, is to grow together.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you too. So I'll stop the recording. Bye, everyone.